Hey everybody, this is episode 1 of a ROC-Cast. You're wondering what that is we are going to attempt to do a podcast specifically around the artificial rock water feature business. And what we wanted to do is get to know you guys and have you get to know us. Sorry about that. So this is the very first episode. I wanted to introduce my older brother, Sean. So, Sean, for those that don't know who you are, I was hoping you would give them a rundown of who you are, what you do, a bit of the history of the of the business and your placement in it. And I just have to pause. There we go.
My intro music.
There you go. Okay, go for it.
All right, my name is Sean. Like Patrick, our father started this business, and we have, in various ways and at different times, taken it over. I have been doing this off and on for my whole adult life, and even started, like, some of my first jobs just sweeping floors in our shop for some of the other older crews. And right now, let's see, I mostly do estimating, I do work in the field, a bit of the artistry, and general project management.
Wonderful. So in terms of your earliest memory of Rockscapes, because I'm pretty sure I remember mine, what's the very first thing you remember, whether you were actually working or just childhood memory?
I think working memory would have to be, I think I was allowed to go help out at the Toronto Zoo when they were doing the gorilla rainforest. And I do remember doing a little bit of cleaning up work right next to the window, and I didn't realize that Charlie the silverback was in the exhibit, and he came up and kind of like came up behind me in the window as sort of like banging on the windows, which gave me a mild cardiac event. And yeah, that one, I don't think I'll ever forget that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, the gorilla, that ended up actually being an award winning. I remember Mom telling me a story about the gorilla, that the snorkel lift that we had on the island, they like got rid of the passageway and trapped our equipment in there. That was I remember her cursing, and she didn't curse very often.
Yeah, I remember. I was helping.
And then I was wondering, in terms of like your favorite memory of any of the past projects, can you think of one that like really stands out?
Oh, wow, that's really tough, because what I like about each project is that when we are able to say that each project is something completely custom and different, it's getting more, and it is true in every case, but it's more and more true. And then what's fun about where we're at now is being able to, you know, design in little challenges for ourselves and like give us like unique little memories for each little job. So I will say that favorite memory, I don't know, it was really neat to work at Casino-Rama, and I think, you know, because I did the model on that, which was totally not to scale, and yet it still looked the exact same. I really get a kick out of, you know, seeing things like that we created, small scale sketches, models, and then seeing it in real life and seeing how close it came. So that was the first time that happened, and that was also like 2 years of my life building that. So that was great. There was so many great memories, great times with the crew back then. Yeah, that was a fantastic experience.
I think that's actually when you and I started becoming friends, because you moved out and away.
Yeah.
And I remember not seeing you for like the longest stretch of our entire lives. And when you actually, we think we went to McCabe's, or what is McCabe's now. I was like, oh geez, you look old. And I think that was the longest stretch probably in our entire lives that I hadn't seen you. And from that point on, we were able to actually start getting along.
Yeah, it was kind of neat, that job, because when most people were coming to Aurelia for the weekend, we were all going home.
Yeah. Sorry, small interruption, but yeah, no, Casino-Rama is actually one of the most gorgeous jobs. if anybody's ever been, there's all but inside the feature, the indoor feature in the casino is gone, I believe. I think they ripped those out to add more slots. But every outdoor feature and the entire hotel feature is absolutely incredible and still running to this day. I know our artist Ethan went, and because his parents live, or they have a cottage close to that, and he went for the first time. It was blown away. Like, the granite detail of that job is absolutely incredible. I absolutely love that. That's actually one of my favorite jobs.
Yeah.
In your opinion, whether you did it, I did it, Dad did it, or one of our other foremans, what's your favorite waterfall that we've ever done?
Favorite waterfall is the one that we never got to complete. And that was Grant Forest Products head office up in New Liskeard, well, Haileybury, actually, just outside of New Liskeard. And what was so awesome about that, well, we did several things. First of all, he, on his own property, uncovered all this granite rock, and then we were helping him, he was creating a 5-star golf course on there. And it was like 100 feet of rock down a major slope, and we went in and we matched the granite rock and then created water channels so that he could make like this massive water feature. So I've never made a longer, bigger water feature. And then at the office, he had like the living space and then the office, and there was like a catwalk in between, and through that we had a large pond with the beginning of a water feature. And what I always wanted to see was he had bought like a World's Fair bronze dragon, and they brought the claws. Yeah, they brought the claws, and the claws were like, I had to match the claws like on the rock because it was gonna like shoot fire up in the air, and then water was gonna rush around it and then come over the side of the water feature into their pool. And we got everything but the dragon done before, unfortunately, the crash 2008, right? And
so you never saw water flowing?
No, we never got to see water flowing, but what we did with that, like the paint job on that granite was like that green, what do you call that type of rock?
Turquoise,
yeah.
But it was the Canadian Shield there was absolutely stunning. Cobalt.
So we had like a ton, so that's the only time we've ever really done that coloring, and it was so well done, and like the veins and everything, and it was just beautiful. And
4 full-time people were painting for like 2 years.
Yeah, no, it was it was just like such an intense color, and they nailed it, and and it popped, and so that's always like stuck in my mind. And several people, I know that after it was like, I think it's still like, you can YouTube it. It's like the largest.
There's abandoned building YouTube.
Abandoned buildings, yeah. It's like one of the largest in Canada. And I know that we had to reprice, bringing it back up to snuff a couple times. I think Shania Twain looked at it. I think Justin Bieber looked at it to possibly buy it. And nobody ever did, because I think it was just too much to.
I think I saw it like 25 million for the building, and everything was destroyed inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but it was going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just going to be such a masterpiece, so it's a real shame.
I was there for a summer, and then I got fired. But that summer, I remember 2 things happened during that summer that were outside of our crew. They had these massive, gorgeous, absolutely insanely large windows that had to be custom made and brought from Germany. And one guy was shimming it and accidentally hit it with a hammer, and it shattered the whole piece. And then we were working on a weekend, and a crane fell over. As was he putting boulders in for the harbor? I can't remember why. But
creating a harbor.
Yeah, they literally created a harbor that was bigger than the town's harbor. But that was an absolutely epic, freaky incident. Never seen anything like that to this day. We want to keep this relatively short and quick, but we just wrapped up an incredible residential. We can't say where, but I'm sure you guys have seen us do a few walkarounds. We're going to do another one later. Walk us through your thoughts on this, because we were brought in as a subcontractor. Every finish around is absolutely gorgeous, but they had us do a few things. So I want you to give like a verbal tour of what we've done, and we'll be able to post the video right after so that they already know.
So this thing was designed as a real rock feature at first, until I guess somebody had pointed out that the weight of the real rock grotto would probably cave in the size of side of their master pool. But I love everything about this feature. Like the fact that we got to work with so many elite trades. You know, we have these master pool builders, this massive pool. I think this is the biggest pool we've ever done something.
It's bigger than my whole property.
It's so big. I love the swim up grotto. It's featuring a bench seat in there, so you can literally go in there, plays music, has lights. You can go in, hold meetings underneath this water feature while the water's running over. Whereas most grottos, like people get, you know, have enough for 1 or 2 people that can go in under there and just enjoy it. But this one, you can spend time in there. Like it's like one of those true like Hugh Hefner.
Jets in there,
yeah. Hugh Hefner style grottos, so that's what makes that one unique. And then the whole feature itself, because it's a transition to go up to a top pavilion and up to their massive water slide, 2-story water slide. But you're going up the stairs that we made, and then the feature starts at the back. Like there's like this back wall, and then that's where the water starts bubbling. So we created these stepping stones, like I call them the mushroom caps, I guess, but there's stepping stones where it's all underlit, and you're gonna see the water rushing through and underneath, and then down over top of the grotto. And then it continues on to go up another set of stairs up to the pavilion. But to the left of that, you're gonna see our big slide cave. And so the coolest thing is that as you are exiting the slide, as you're coming down the slide, you go through this cave, and we've done some like really cool lighting in there, and just as you're shooting on by. But we've had to say a couple times we don't recommend that anybody jumps off of that thing, but we also recognize that we would if it was us, and that other people will. So
it's a 10-foot deep pool.
Yeah,
I remember you telling
pool.
me about that cave, and you're like, hey, it's gonna be a 12-foot tall cave, and I was like, we don't want to do that. But it absolutely killed it and looks fantastic. I know I said that was the last question, but I actually want to ask you what your dream project is. Like, what's the golden goose final feather in the cap where you're like, I've always wanted to do this, I don't know why I haven't gotten to do this?
If there's an evil villain out there, or a billionaire that wants to do like something Batman Batcave, like pick me. I would like to. If you're an evil villain that has a mountain lair that needs, like, you know, a giant door to open up as you drive towards it, hidden from the government, I ask no questions. I just want to do something like Dr. Evil style. That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, not too shabby. Well, first ROC-Cast in the books. We're going to try and do these more often, try and highlight both our crew, the people that are in it, some of the projects that we're on, some of the people that we've gotten to work with, whether they're pool companies, landscapers, exhibit companies, museums, zoos, everything. We're going to try and actually put this all together so that people can have a unique view, because this is such a rare industry, and we realized one of our core efforts that we need to do is not just bring this to light to everybody, but then educate people on the need for artificial rock, on where real rock and artificial artistry can come into play together. And we just want to have fun doing it, and we want more people to understand what we're doing, why we're doing it. Actually, one of the questions was, what did you used to tell people that mom and dad would do? Because for me as a kid, I had no clue whatsoever.
Well, it depends on how long the conversation you want to be, because sometimes I would just say specialized construction. Most of the times but if I tried to like explain it to people, people would be like, landscaping, and I'd be like, well, actually it's more like exhibit. You know what? It's landscaping. Yeah, we do some landscaping. Yeah. But most of the time it's like we're doing rock features, artificial rock features, habitats, ponds, you know, things like that, where I've sort of streamlined it a little bit. Still, there's a glazed, confused look on people's faces, so pictures, full presentations are usually necessary. Slideshows, like, I did this, and they're like, you did Wonderland? Oh, we did not do Wonderland.
Well, we have now.
We have been doing Wonderland, but up to that point, I had not done Wonderland, and it's the most obvious recognizable piece, but they're like Wonderland. I'm like way better than Wonderland.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your likes, the support, your views. We appreciate it all, and we'll check you on the next time. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we'll be sure to answer later on. Cheers.
Cheers.